All right guys, after about 7 months and almost 20,000 miles, it is time to get rid of the Ford F-150 Lightning. It's not without some sadness, but it's time. Just kind of wanted to share with you my thoughts on the Lightning after almost 20,000 miles, and just why I'm getting rid of it and where maybe the Lightning could improve in at least one major way. Now, let me start by saying that actually this is my favorite truck of all the trucks I've had. That includes the F350 Trimmer. Any other dualies or diesel trucks I've had, I like this truck probably the most. It has the best ride. It's very quiet. It's smooth. Obviously, it has some limitations as far as off-roading abilities and things like that, but that's not really why we got the truck. When we purchased the truck, it was going to be a commuter, taking kids to school, running around town, occasionally towing a boat, stuff like that, and it did great for that. What has changed since then? We've gotten a new Tesla. I'll have to show you that maybe in another video. We've got the new Model 3 Highland, which was a great refresh, by the way. So that's kind of become our daily commuter car. We're not really using the truck as much, except for towing. We do a lot of fishing, and so a lot of travel is involved with that. And towing a boat is kind of a main priority for a truck right now. So that is one area that the Lightning kind of falls short. My range while towing our boat is around 170 miles, 175 miles, depending on the terrain, the weather, the speed, things like that. But 175 miles when you're going to oftentimes remote lakes with obviously no charging, the best you can do a lot of times is to find a campground somewhere that you'll stay overnight and you can charge at the campground. But as far as public supercharging, fast charging, things like that, a lot of that is non-existent in some of these rural areas where we go fishing. So the Lightning has kind of become a little bit of a hindrance to that activity. So we started looking at something different, and that's kind of what led us to this point. Now again, this is just a great truck. I love this truck. It is so fast, it's so smooth, it tows so great, and honestly, after coming from a diesel, having no gears, having no engine noise when you're towing it was really great. But you just can't go very far. So we ended up putting the Lightning up for sale. It is actually sold. Hopefully this is coming to get picked up today. We've had some transport issues, but this will be gone today, and we've actually already replaced this truck. And so what we got was what I think is the next best thing to a Lightning, and that is the F150 PowerBoost. Now, the Lightning was my first F150 in quite some time, and I really did like the platform, so that's why we went with an F150 again. And also the main thing was the F-150 had the Pro Power onboard. And honestly, once you get used to the Pro Power onboard, I wouldn't want to go to another manufacturer that didn't have that. And I know many of them have plugs in the bed, but not to the level where you can run high wattage items from your truck. And so the PowerBoost has that. This has a 7.2 kilowatt Pro Power, which basically uses the engine as a generator to make that power, whereas the Lightning just used the battery pack. But so this had that. This is the PowerBoost model is basically a 3.5 liter EcoBoost with some hybrid type options. It has a very small battery pack, I think 1.5 kilowatts. You can't plug it in or anything like that. It basically just charges the battery from the engine. So when you use the Pro Power, the generator mode will basically kick the engine on as needed to supply the battery pack. It'll kick off when there's enough to supply whatever it is that you're running. So it's kind of an on-off type thing. So I'll just show you around this truck a little bit. I've already done some modifications, as you can see here. I broke the Baja Design XL80s out. These were on my trimmer. I got some ditch mounts. I'll be honest with you, these are probably not going to be heavy duty enough. This is just a very small clamp, and I've got a little bit of vibration. I think if I had a sturdier clamp, we could probably get that vibration down. And you can't have the factory antenna. They do make some higher end versions of these mounts that go a little further over and allow you to retain that. But this is the Avalanche gray color. This is an XLT, and I'll be honest with you, comparing the interior of the XLT to the Lariat Lightning, I'm not that much of a fan of the XLT, but it's all we need. It's just not quite as nice. It's got cloth seats, no sunroof. It does have the 12-inch screen, and honestly, I'll tell you, I think I like the 12-inch screen better than the 15-inch that's in the Lightning. Better than the screen that's in the Lightning. I think I just like it on a horizontal instead of vertical like the Lightning was. This does have the mobile office package, so this folds out just like the Lightning did. just some of the niceties. No heat, no cooled seats. It does have heated seats. The cab for the most part is the same. Transferred a lot of the accessories over, which is another reason I wanted to go with this. We've got the Retrax XR on here. I've seen the bars because we put our cargo carrier on here when we went on our trip to Michigan, but I also got a rooftop tent. I haven't done a video on that, but so now I can put my tent on here. This one of the things I was really upset about is this does not have the tailgate step. This did have a spray-in bed liner, which the Lightning does not actually. But here's the Pro Power, so same functionality. It's got 240, all the 110s, and obviously Pro Power is only in the back because there's no frunk on this. But went ahead and put this tailgate seal around here. One thing I do like about this is this does not have the automatic tailgate, which that's kind of cool. But there's some things here on the Lightning that prevent you from having this tailgate seal all the way across, and I definitely like to keep as much dust out as I can. But so manual tailgate, so just so you'll see, I'll show you what the difference is here on the Lightning. So right here, part of the motor action, I guess, is happening right here. So I had to actually cut the tailgate seal here for that to work. It was basically just bending and pulling and all that. So I didn't get these interior lights on the new truck. I wish I had those. The tailgate is kind of fancy, I have to admit, and I certainly missed the tailgate step. So just comparing the Lightning interior, it's just much more plush, and that's just really the difference between the Lariat trim level, obviously with the moonroof. The seats feel a little softer. This right here, I've got some hip problems due to an injury, and this seems a lot softer than it does on the new truck. Maybe that's just because there's some miles on here and we've got it broken in. But this has been a great truck. It has been, we've had no problems with it. I had a few CSPs done on the Lightning when we first got it, and after those were resolved, I've never had a warning light, I've never had an issue, I've never done any maintenance. So it's just been a great truck. Now, this truck, the new PowerBoost, is going to require some maintenance. You're going to have to do oil changes, and hopefully nothing goes wrong with it. There's, like any vehicle, there's issues with some, and if you read internet forums, there's all kinds of things that seem to be happening with different models. PowerBoost is not excluded from that. So hopefully we have a good experience with this. I'll tell you on initial thoughts, first of all, when I take the Lightning towing, I've got about 170 miles of range. This truck is at least double that, depending on your terrain. And then the other thing is, and the range being double is just one piece of it. The other piece is there's a gas station on every corner, and then it takes just maybe 5 minutes to fill up. Even if you can find a charger, if you're going on like a long fishing trip or something, you know, just kind of every 150 miles or so stopping to charge is just not very practical. So that's kind of what led us to the PowerBoost, and so I'm going to keep this for a while, and it may not last long, and I may have to go back to a diesel. Again, I can tell you I miss the quietness of the Lightning, the shifting of the gears and things like that. I'm not a big fan of that. And this truck has plenty of power, though. It pulls our boat great. You probably know we've got a 22-foot Express bay boat. It pulls it great. It's not any weight for the truck, and the truck so far is averaging about 12.5 miles a gallon. Pulling our boat. So I expect that's what we'll get, and that's pretty much at 55 to 65. I'm not going to tow the boat over 65. So far for what we need out of this truck, it's doing great. It just doesn't do quite as good as the Lightning in all the other areas outside of towing. So I just wanted to say goodbye to the Lightning, let you know what was happening with that. It's headed to California today. Hopefully it's going to get on a truck, and it's going to be a West Coast vehicle from here on out. So we're going to stick with the PowerBoost at least for 6 months. I promise to keep it for 6 months. I can't promise I'm going to keep it after that, but we'll keep it for 6 months, see how it goes. There's not going to be near as many miles on the PowerBoost as there was the Lightning, because like I said, this isn't our daily commuter. That's what the Tesla over there is for. So this is really just going to be maybe road trip, secondary vehicle, boat towing type stuff. More to come on the PowerBoost, and a sad goodbye to the Lightning. When they get the battery pack straightened out to where this can go 400 to 500 miles, and if you cut that range in half towing 2 to 250, I'll be back in a Lightning. I'll be back in an electric truck of some sort. I know Silverado, GMC has made some improvements in their battery range, just basically by adding bigger batteries. But this is the infancy of these trucks, I know. So I expect in the next few years there's going to be more developments as far as how far these can go while towing. But after you've towed with an electric vehicle, I promise you, you'll want to keep doing that just because of the ease and the smoothness of the experience. It's just that the range is a limiting issue right now.